Welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League. My name's NightFiree with two E's. I will be your solo conductor in today's journey into the VR Master League Season 14, Week 7. A mid-tier matchup as we dive into the heart of the NA ladder. Saints and Sinners versus Aging Moss, duking it out here this afternoon. Again, two teams right in the middle of the pack. You know, Aging Moss, a team that was created in Season 13, ended gold their first season. They've had a couple of tough matches so far with a few losses under their belt, but they're a team that can play at that gold level. Saints and Sinners, a team, if you look historically, that has been in the bronze range, bronze to silver. Now going up against a gold opponent here, coming off of a 2-1, two wins, one loss so far this season. So not a ton of games played. Maybe just actually, if I think about it, they've just become active this back half of the season. But, or I guess not the back half, we're still in the front half, but, you know, late into the season is when they started. But either way, a interesting matchup here with a couple of votes, and quite a few people split on their connoisseur votes, although I think the favor was going towards Aging Moss this afternoon as the team that would be the team to beat. So let me take a look at the prediction, at the votes here on the website. Yeah, 28-9. A couple of votes going into Saints and Sinners because Saints and Sinners are a team that does have some history. Their roster is pretty skilled. Players like 404 Goose and Denny and people that have been playing around since Season 11. So definitely a good bit of experience on the roster for Saints and Sinners. We'll see if it's enough to get them a W. Our kickoff map is one I won't say yet because we haven't even talked about the bands. Let's go ahead and get into them. On the Saints and Sinners side, we have the Cargo Tanker combo coming in. And on Aging Moss, we have the Shipyard Snow Peak combo coming in. From my understanding with Aging Moss, they've banned two maps of weakness, so maps that they're not necessarily confident on, with Shipyard and Snow Peak off the table. Saints and Sinners, curious what their choices were there. I imagine a similar situation. Two close quarters maps off the table. They end up getting to choose map one, and they take us to Downfall. And Downfall is an interesting starting point for both of these teams because it really does give us a good perspective of what kind of coordination and skill we're going to be getting here throughout the whole of the series. Downfall really requires it at a high level. I'm just going to go ahead and give the players the ready for whenever they are full and good to go. For now, we're waiting on a fifth to connect in for Saints and Sinners, and then we will have a full lobby. So that's all we're really waiting on now. We can take a look at the active rosters for the afternoon. Coming in from Aging Moss, we have Battlestar, Tommy, Random the Pyro, Torres Family, and Feeble Crib. And let's just do a triple check here on that roster. Yes, indeed. All rostered players, no subs coming in. Over on Saints and Sinners, we have Denny, 404 Goose, Hikari, and GX Zona. Fifth could be Alchemist, IC19, Hailstorm, or Kirby. They've got them all on their roster, so again, a deep roster to pull from, and players that definitely are pretty skilled in the way of Onward, and at least knowledgeable in the ways of Onward. Skilled is subjective, I suppose, but yeah, who knows who they'll be bringing in on their fifth, but we will see soon enough. Hopefully it's not hopefully it is a rostered player and they don't have to dip into the substitute pool. We can actually do a little research and see if they are doing that now. Doesn't seem like it. It is going to be Alchemist that will fill out the roster, one of their more veteran players on the team. And not really much of a surprise there, but good to see that there was no subs brought in this afternoon, and well, we should just be moments away from getting into the start of round 1 on Downfall. Big shout out to everyone that is tuning in here this afternoon. I do appreciate you all stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action. See Justic coming in here, dropping the gorilla emotes. Maybe a fan of Gorilla Tag, who knows, but I know that game's popping off. Anyway, definitely excited about this series because, again, I think it should be a pretty a bit of an unknowing one. You know, both teams, not necessarily a lot of casts that they get during the regular season. And so I am interested to see what kind of, again, what kind of level of skill set we're deploying here this afternoon. What kind of tactics are going to be showcased on a map like Downfall. Downfall is definitely a heavy teamwork and heavy coordination focused map. It really requires you as a team to work together. Communication is vital. Accurate callouts, relaying correct information, all of it very important. Early picks, long range snipes, really has it all. Outside of, I mean, even when it comes down to pushing objectives, you get into the close range. But it looks like both teams are ready to go, and we are going to dive into the start of round number 1. Again, a brief look at the active rosters for today. And into round 1 we go. Saints and Sinners on the kickoff. And do they realize they only have 4? Oh man, I don't think they knew they spawned in with just 4. Either way, they're getting shot at early as Tommy misses
they're going to the crater building.
a couple of shots. They do get the spawn called out though.
That's gotta be the game. It's not my aim. That's the game.
And Tommy having a tough time connecting with their shots and does get sniped down by Alchemist from long range there. Those long range shots were going to be key. And yeah, I don't think Saints and Sinners even realized they loaded in with 4. Always important to do a player check. Ooh, and Battlestar finds another. The first kill for Aging Moss.
He's dead.
Again, another long-range shot. I think Battlestar has, yeah, that ACOG optic on.
Possibly to upper right.
Torres holding the back south here. The one real lack of coverage is where Goose is rotating towards. They'll be able to effectively push down the street. Except for this window position, which comes in and connects. Battlestar
Hey, 42.
finds another.
Hey, he's not over there anymore. I killed him.
Interestingly
Yeah, I
enough,
killed him. He's
the
not over
call-out's 4v2. And so I wonder if they either think they've killed 3 or they know that only 4 loaded in.
2v4.
Oh, out of the other way. Random's
41.
gonna scoop up another one, and it is gonna come down to Ikari. Alone. Kari does manage to get across. Here, a bit of a sigh. That was definitely one challenging point. The next is, honestly, if they take this route, they can push up to the 3-story. If they can get inside under the nose of Torres, then they've got themselves a decent bit of play space to work with. Either a challenge out of the bottom floor here through the windows, or up through the second floor on the ledge, but it is all up to how Akari rotates out here and if they can get up to that 3-story. If they go too far south, they'll be caught out. If they go too far north, they'll be caught out. So they're definitely pinched. Yeah, and this route is definitely going to be tough. The slow roll here as the shots from Battlestar come through.
So Hotel Bungalow wall.
Looking to get
right behind
themselves
the
their
wall.
3rd kill here as they've got the pin here. Torres also peeks out, tries to push up
See him?
onto Akari. They know that there's only one left and they've got him trapped in the corner here.
He has to be fucking over there, dude. I don't.
And that is the right route.
Okay.
Gotta go left. This is the way, the safe way through. Torres is challenging though, and here comes a flash. Deploys a bit too far, so Akari should be okay, but Torres getting up on the 3rd floor. He can shut Akari pushing here if Akari's too slow. Minute 30 left, and so they're gonna have to make their move some point. There it is, and they go a bit too wide out into the open where Pyro finds the shots, and Aging Moss only suffer a single death to an early sniper shot. But Saints and Sinners do load into 4v5, so maybe gotta check that you got everyone locked in there before you start the round. But Saints and Sinners looking good. Up 1-0 out the gate here. Should have about 4 minutes left on predictions, so be sure to get those in. Maybe 6. If you do want to get yourself some channel points. Curious what map 2 will hold. Obviously, I'm still unsure where we're really going to take this series. Is Saints and Sinners just going to be on point, or is Aging Moss maybe just again kind of fumbling there with that 4v5 and would have looked a little better with their full run? Or excuse me, I got the scores wrong. I apologize. Aging Moss takes that round. I got the size wrong there. Saints and Sinners lose, and yeah, maybe now Saints and Sinners will be ready. I see a couple of folks hanging out in chat, and I do appreciate you all stopping by. Hello, Savs. Yeah, I've been around. I've been here. But always good to see faces returning and folks hanging out and enjoying the action. Grenades also in here. Got Just Pablo. Just Ilk, Fake Birds, Too Fast for You Two, Tendies. Appreciate you stopping by, enjoying the action. Shout out to the mod squad. We do get into it for round number 2. Saints and Sinners on the defense. This time they've got a full roster. Maybe that'll be the ticket to getting them a round in the books. Goose, foregoing a risky cross, and that is probably the wise choice. All things considered, Aging Moss are staying pretty tucked in, not necessarily exposing themselves to any risky angles, but you can get caught out on an open cross, and you don't need to invest a player in pushing across to that other building with this objective spawn. You can hold it technically how it's being held currently. Torres going to rotate here right into an open line of sight, but they're crouched down just enough where they don't get detected. Or at least they do and are called out, and Torres take the wall side and gets past Denny. Just rotates off the angle that they were covering. Still relatively undetected, and while the setup that Saints and Sinners has is strong, if you do lack on objective defense and you are relying on finding attackers pushing into your objective before they get to it, it does have risks in that if one player can sneak through the gaps And they can find themselves 2 points, so we'll see what Torres can do. They've gotten themselves up pretty far forward early. Still 4:20 left on the round. Have one close to objective, but honestly not really any on objective defense. I suppose you could consider Alchemist and Goose on objective defense, but if there are smokes that are deployed, they're going to have to find the kills blind, and I suppose that would be the case if they were there either way, but I don't know, we'll have to see. There's a nice shot. Battlestar doesn't take the low and slow route, and they do get punished for it. Alchemist finds a nice long-range shot with that SKS. Aggressive fire follows up those shots coming out from random, but they don't know where that sniper shot came through because this suppressive fire is not at the accurate window. And we are into
I suck at this fucking game!
relatively we're into a relatively bit of back and forth. We're gonna zip on over to Tommy here. He gets very close to Denny.
There's one under me, North Twin, one under me.
Oh, Torres finds one. Zona goes down.
North Twin is dead. North Twin is dead.
We lost one. Dead. They thought I died. There's still one under me. I can hear one under me.
Tommy trying to throw a smoke to disrupt, doesn't get it out the window. And Denny still holding up the first floor.
Did you not hear me push up?
Lower red. Wait, no.
Who's suppressing and a little banter, it seems, between Tommy and Denny. But neither want to really work their way out of their defensive positions for now. Alchemist continues to suppress as Pyro pushes ever closer to objective, now taking control up through the middle and has a great line down into this objective space. More suppressive fire, the double LMG, but it gets clipped to one as Alchemist finds another SKS shot. Good sniper shots coming in from Alchemist so far. Denny still holding down the bottom floor as Tommy looks to potentially challenge it. Now we're gonna swing, and a fantastic shot, threading the needle, finds the kill. Big swing, and will the follow-up come through? Goose tries to connect, but can't.
Like 33 or something, I'm not sure. I got it.
Minute 30 left. Tommy calls out 3v3, make it 3v2. Alchemist cuts it down, 2v2. As shots come in and the smokes are on objective, Alchemist has to stay vigilant in defending. As there's suppressive shots from random, Alchemist finds the kill. Torres pushing up to objective. Where's the on-objective defense? It's nowhere present. Alchemist doesn't have an angle. They're going to have to rotate out of their building. Torres can cap right now, free of charge. Aging Moss are going to push this up 2-0, and Saints and Sinners are going to learn a tough lesson. Now look, watched a lot of Onward. I may have some of the deepest understanding of this game. Tactically. Maybe not actually doing the action, but tactically. From a top-down perspective, I know what I'm talking about. I saw that weak point at the start of the round. And sure, the long-range defense on the hill is nice. You can suppress down straight into the objective. They could have denied that cap, but that whole hill can be disrupted with LMG fire. And we saw it working as they vaulted forward with dual LMGs hitting that hillside. And eventually the kills come in. They lose that hillside defense. They don't rotate to replace it. And that's the lesson for Saints and Sinners to learn. They had to send one rotate. They had to push out of that White House and have direct coverage of objective. You can never leave your objective open like that. And hats off to Aging Moss for threading that needle. Just takes one. They were the last one alive. Torres with a nice cap. 55 seconds left. Back to it we go. One of the only objectives that has variable spawn points, and Aging Moss do get one that can put you in some risky positions out of spawn. They do take some risky pushes, but everybody gets to where they need to go. Now we'll see if where they need to go is where they should be as we get into the rotation from Saints and Sinners, pushing out of south in a 3-2 split, 2 up in the north. Goose flying out of French here. They're going to take up an early position and likely have eyes out downrange towards Tommy Torres Battlestar. All of which potentially looking at Goose, if they decide to extend their way forward there. Rest of the trio is Alchemist and Zana on the backside, slowly making their way forward here. North is starting to disrupt as Denny throws some shots out, and they have Ikari working together to try and get their way up here.
Yeah, this will be rough. What do you want me to do?
So what we gotta do, one of us has to put a few shots on that window so the other can push up to lower red.
Okay. What window is it?
So if you look at first.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna crawl in here, I'll put some shots down, and then I'll let you know when to run.
Okay. Where am I running?
To just... Nice.
I'm on the truck. Yep.
Where is that?
No idea.
Ikari has to be very careful on their positioning. If they
Okay.
do position themselves just under this truck here, they can get their ankles clipped, and that's what's happened. That's where these shots are going out towards. Trying to find Ikari underneath the truck. Denny is suppressing over top, but they're getting no assistance from the trio here. And as I say, Goose does come alive, finds a kill on the bottom floor.
Still one.
People taking some suppressive shots, and Ikari and Denny still here at red truck.
5v4.
Deep breath from Ikari as they likely get ready to move. Tommy tries to find
Where was that?
shots on to Denny as they rotate out, but they do not connect. Tommy's going to be a big threat for this rotation north. Oh, and I say that, but Denny was looking there. They had taken shots towards Tommy, and now they picked them apart.
Yeah, Gart. I'll keep putting shots down, you move.
Trio has advanced forward from the south. Goose and Zana slowly getting closer. Not quite close enough, dare I say. As the north works their way up. Ikari and Denny still trying to vault forward here, and Ikari looking a little bit too far south. Torres could be a big threat here. Still tucked into the Blackhawks, still silent. The push will eventually cross somewhere in front of them. Be on both sides, and so could be a key element in shutting down Saints and Sinners. Let's see. Goose here pushing up right into Torres' line of sight. The shots missed. Now they're giving away their position.
Fuck.
It doesn't go over. Just looking for the angle. Find it. Torres very aware of the threat here and staying tucked into the corner. Ooh, random catches Denny. What a angle there. Bottom floor of the two-story as Goose throws some rounds over there to the top floor. They don't know quite where Random is. A long-range flash, and now Random identified in that bottom floor. Goose has him trapped. Torres pops out to catch Alchemist, and Goose looks back over to see if they can catch the angle onto Torres, but can't. Torres now holding down several different angles here, and again, could be a key element in this defense. Instant Center is going to have to cross.
Did you get the one in Center Hotel?
Goose is out. The Goose is loose. They managed to find one kill. Random's down. They switch over and catch Torres.
I got fucking South Brothel and this helicopter.
A good one, too, as Akari comes flying in. Feeble, off of the backside, isn't here to defend. Akari's crouched down, punching in the code as Feeble comes flying around the corner and shuts it down just in time. Aging Moss clutched by Feeble Crib with a double. But it was almost 3-2. But it wasn't. And almost doesn't get you a map win. That kill gets Aging Moss the map win. Looks like map 2, well, we'll see where map 2 is taking us. I'm not sure if these players are going to reset lobby or we're just going to get into it. Don't know if resetting lobby is needed with the new update. And I would appreciate it if we could all be nice and chat. Of all things, rank in VRML does matter, but doesn't for the community aspect of it. That's the beauty of the VRML, is that no matter what skill level you are, you can enjoy playing in the league. So just keep that in mind. Some people are brand new to this game, playing in the VRML, and be friendly. At what the status is for map 2. It could be Suburbia. I did throw that up there, but they did load up the lobby. It does seem to be Suburbia, but they are just rehosting. So Suburbia for map 2. That's a change of pace. And it's by Aging Moss of all teams. You know, they 4-0'd that long range. They may honestly consider picking a map that they're not necessarily comfortable on, but is long range, just so that they can get that similar potential result. But we go to the close quarters. While I set things up, we'll see if there's any subs coming in for either side. Ooh, and this is our first look at the new lighting and some new textures for Suburbia. Definitely looks different. It's amazing what a shift in the skybox and lighting can do. So far, no subs on Saints and Sinners side. And I think Tommy is getting subbed in on Aging Moss. Who's playing last round? Let's see if I can see. I think Tommy is getting subbed in here, but oh yeah, we're definitely getting a couple of subs here. Papa Spookies coming in. The rosters. No, I think. No, we had. Yeah, Battlestar, Feeble, Torres, Random. Feeble is not in. Papa Spookies is in. I think Tommy was in last round. But either way, they've had a sub on the Aging Moss side. And very interesting to see what that means for them on this map. Again, a very big shift in play style from what they just 4-0'd their opponents. So this could end up backfiring in some capacity. Saints and Sinners could find success here on Suburbia. We'll have to see. Giving the go-ahead to the team, so he should be starting any point here. And there it is. Round one underway. Look at this map. Look at how different it looks.
Let's fucking win this map.
A very new and improved map and a old objective as we get into the playground to kick things off. Could be volatile out the gate, but it looks like a bit of a longer range spawn, and Akari makes it just past some of the early pre-fire.
Nope, I'm not.
Goose finds themselves in a bit of a battle on the edge. Tommy trying to push out from the northeast corner. Smoke deployed towards objective, a couple of them, and that may end up causing a little bit of concern in the defensive side of things. As Goose pushes up, they get caught out. Not before they find Torres, and yeah, you're seeing a lot of diligent blind fire coming through this smoke. Zana making sure there's no caps. We're also pre-firing the pre-fire. And so everyone here just dumping rounds downrange.
There's one peeking.
Gari's still forced to stay tucked in. Battlestar makes it past. They could tuck in and punch code on this small corner, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Alchemist blind fires through the shrubs, doesn't connect. Spookies is here, and Battlestar finds the connection there, and a good blind fire back from both Zana and Akari. Alchemist is alive, but they found the headshot. Alchemist could be scooped up, but there are threats around. Random is here. Spookies is potentially coming. I wonder what Alchemist can see. Akari tries to push up, and Random finds the kill. Tommy clips the wings of the flank on the edge, and Saints and Sinners are down to 1.5 as Denny confirms their teammate. They're then going to try and push forward up into shots from Tommy, and Aging Moss continues to find W's. Up 1-0, technically 5-0, as they have now gone unanswered across two maps. And getting scolded in chat by the mod squad, informing me of the rules. I told you I don't know them. I'm not. Well, I guess I said that. You wouldn't know that unless you were watching the Blaston cast over at Blaston_VRML. But I do know some of the rules. I try and stay up to date, but I'm not a mod. I'm not privy to all of them. There's some nice new tile textures on the roof. Wonder what these are doing for gameplay. Actually, I don't know if these are new because the lines are still broken like they used to be. You'd think I would know. I did a lot of surfing on these roofs, but I think it's a different color and texture maybe. Seeing if we were getting a sub or a technical timeout, but the full 2 minutes between round timer, a minute and a half. What do I know? But that between round timer being utilized here, and into round number 2 we go. Saints and Sinners on the attack.
Play it long.
Who's going with you?
guys like the ego feed. You're coming with me. Don't run in front of yet. I'll tell you when.
Hey, do you know the pre-fire? Oh, you go.
Early shots coming in. Denny tries to challenge Tommy, and Tommy finds the first kill. Goose suppresses their way forward. It's past Tommy. Doesn't
Playing
manage
that box
to
spot zone and was playing.
press them down, and see how the rest of Saints and Sinners wants to push forward here. Interesting spread from Aging Moss. Not necessarily a heavy on-objective defense. A risk that we saw Saints and Sinners taking in Downfall, and that ended up biting them big time, but we'll see. Physicality of Onward. Getting to Tommy there as they have to crouch down.
Covering you.
Flash over the top of Pyro, blinds them and pushes them off the corner. Only for a brief moment. Battlestar here, still tucked in onto a short one. Matter of moments before Goose crosses over. Are they going to snap turn? They're not. Down goes their head. An instant kill. Another follow-up from LMG over the top. And Alchemist. Definitely not sure where exactly Battlestar found that kill. But it's up to Zana and Alchemist to make their way through. 4 alive, still on defense. Technically only really 2 covering it, though. Battlestar and Pyro. Torres, Spookies, both holding the other side, and so again, able to shift towards the center, but not actively watching it.
53. Okay.
What is their game plan? How does Alchemist approach this? There go their ankles! Pyro finds the kill. Zonic alone in a 1v5.
52.
Trouble, of course, is that with 5 alive, anywhere Zana goes, an angle is covered, and Aging Moss are still diligently holding their angles, so...
Smoke's in from mid.
So we're getting a bug where we're hearing the comms of the other team. And I don't think Zana's going to be long for this world, as Battlestar is still holding down the ultimate short angle that Zana's going to have to push out of.
Somewhere near carport.
30 left, and Zana's really just trying to find something. Nice tucked in double kill for Battlestar to hold down the defense and push Aging Moss up 6-1. What were the connoisseur votes? I think again they were in heavily favor of Aging Moss. Yeah, 28-9, so still some faith in the Saints and Sinners squad, but yeah, ultimately supposed to have a Saint. Oh no. Give me a second. Sorry, technical hiccup there, as I was trying to adjust the team names. We have it sorted. And just in time for round number 3 on map 2, Aging Moss up 6-0. Saints and Sinners defending this one.
You're playing alone.
631.
There's some index players on the Saints and Sinners side, as we did see a single finger being deployed that otherwise can't be unless you have that finger tracking enabled. Torres pushing very far forward here and setting up early against the wall. Penetrable cover here with this wooden fence. You have to be cautious of. Well, a trade on that end. We couldn't swap over to it, but 1 for 1. When Denny pops out, Torres likely spotted that.
Give me a fucking flash or a frag. There's a guy right in front of me.
Random does a who me as they look behind them.
On the right, lane 2.
And we'll see if any utility ends up getting deployed. It's not needed. Torres catches Denny's
I
head.
don't know if I got him or not. You heard him, nice. I think I got him dropped, but 54.
Oh, I just realized.
Careful, he was in that foot.
Hey, a shout out to Rufio, resubscribing with Prime as Akari kills Battlestar for that sub in particular. You can count that as your shout out. Solid connection though, and they're going to confirm that kill. Akari definitely surprising the trio here that was going to advance forward. Torres and Random not necessarily expecting another to be here after they found their first kill. Also got to keep an eye on this little split here. But it's both ends that are getting pinched right now. Torres finds the kill just underneath the car.
I got him, Pyro.
Up to Alchemist and Zana to hold this down for Saints and Sinners. It's a 2v3. How does Aging get rid of Alchemist in this position here? Are they going to be ready for it, aware of it? Pyros free fires it, and there's the trade, 1 for 1. Discuss that performance issues here on the new Suburbia. We get those sorted. Zana finds the kill as they try to push up for the res, and it's up to Torres with an accurate call out on right where Zana is. Torres should know right where this defender is. They have one left alive that's calling all this information out. Torres seemingly running out of ammo, though. Had to swap out their gun for an opponent's and is now dialed into this porch. But they've gotten called out and identified where that enemy is. They're still looking. And there they see Zana, and they find the kill. Aging Moss up 3-0 with good teamwork. Oh, dark in this map. Saints and Sinners having a tough time against Aging Moss, and well, it's definitely a challenge for them. Saints and Sinners starting this season off maybe the strongest they have any of their seasons, 2-1 in terms of games won and lost. It does mean that they haven't necessarily been playing all season long. Aging Moss have been. I think they've also been on a bit of a slide in terms of wins. So this could definitely be a nice pick-me-up for them. Get back into the swing of things there and start trying to drive their rank up in what soon will be the back half of Season 14. See a couple of AGM fans in here. Solomon Sav declaring they're the AGM mom. Doc Toast. Attendees still hanging out, and again, we appreciate everyone that's been enjoying the action here this afternoon. A shout out to you. Thank you so much. Tell your friends to tune in Sunday. We've got a big high-tier matchup that we're going to be diving into. Very much looking forward to that. OP been on an absolute tear so far this season. The new super team. And Saints and Sinners have again loaded him with just 4 and not realized it and started the round. lot of guesswork going on here.
Crazy.
Spooks, try to rotate over to.
Pre-firing, shooting through shrubs, wood. Just trying to pick off a potential defending position or disrupt a rotation.
-1.
Finally, a decent start for Saints and Sinners. Still, though, 4v4, considering they again loaded in without all 5.
God damn it, tracking. Shit.
Spookies is here, and they're challenging the trio on the corner. Ape comes in, not quite far enough. Battlestar finds Denny through the wood. Spookies deploys a couple of flashes, but doesn't quite get past Alchemist. Eagle Eye. A trade,
It
1
was in
for
between
1.
the two houses.
Aging Moss down to 2. Saints and Sinners left with 3. Technically, I should say 3, but it is actually 2. The top of that scoreboard is wrong, considering they didn't have their 5th load in, and so Zana and Alchemist are alone. But it's a 2v2, make it a 2v3. The res comes through from Tommy. Alchemist finding another kill. But with 3 minutes left, I actually have a lot of time to eventually try and push this objective. They certainly don't have to do it now. See the comment that Saints and Sinners is coming back. Well, this was going to have to be the round. It's a risky stand up there from Battlestar because as they're crouched, they don't have active coverage. When they stand, they do. A nice peek there. Catches Alchemist out, the leading killer. And puts Zana alone. Unfortunately, alone. As they have a tough time tossing that nade. They get the flash up and over. But the smoke almost negatively impacting their rotation. Not sure what happened there, but Zana dropped their gun. Picks it back up. Finds Battlestar. And they get Tommy on the patio. They peek out, and Tommy clutches it up. Aging Moss takes the series in a sweep. 8-0. Nearly the start of a comeback, but a little bit too late. As map 2 goes down in favor of Aging Moss. Saints and Sinners get to choose our 3rd map, and we'll still play it out, but the series has been won. Pretty commanding fashion, nonetheless. I know the sentiment was for a map 3 decider. I, of course, would have liked to see it as well, but not what we're in store for here this afternoon. So do give us a second. Always technically sort things out and get into map 3. And wow, always good to see, but I mean, upwards of, I don't know, 25 private lobbies being played right now. Private competitive lobbies. $21, excuse me. Do the math. 21 nearly full private lobbies being played right now. That's pretty good. Onward, a healthy game. Tons of players playing it actively, and I mean, we're pretty close to setting a record for most teams participated in the Onward VRML ever. So we set that record last season. Very well could set it again this season. We'll have to see. A lot of new people coming in, even now, as we're deep into the 7th week of the season. Looks like map 3. Going to take us to quarantine. A little bit more range. Didn't quite work out for Saints and Sinners last time, but quarantine is a very different map than Downfall. A lot more cover, a lot more flanking options and routes to take. It might be what the doctor ordered. And if it is, then the doctor ordered it way too late, because it's already 8-0 Aging Moss, and the series unwinnable. Even if Saints and Sinners 4-0 here, they're still looking at a tough 8-4 loss, and so Aging Moss really got to bear down, because the 12-0, the 12-1, the 12-2, 12-3 even is a nice way to take a series. So as long as they can take 4 points here, they'll be looking at a very big W this afternoon. They're already looking at a pretty big one, 8-0 on these first 2 maps, but nonetheless, the Aging Moss team definitely coming out to play. Locked in, focused, clearly Saints and Sinners getting a test of a higher tier team and aren't quite ready for what they got. They've been playing too good this season, and sometimes playing too good bounces you up the ladder into an opponent that a bit above the pay grade. Again, we'll see what Saints and Sinners can do. They've come very close on several rounds, so it's not to say that Aging Moss are without their skill range, but you know, Saints and Sinners are coming back to the league off of you know, starting late into the season. You know, again, only 3 games played so far, so anyway, we're into it. Round 1 of map 3 has begun. It's going to start us on the far east objective. Pyro taking an interesting 2-story defensive position. Oftentimes players tuck into the stairwell, but Pyro doing a little old meta, off meta strategy here, and we'll see if it catches the far south rotation off it all.
I got a fucking sniper.
For now, it's a very relaxed Saints and Sinners squad. Not having, again, a lot of success trying to lock in and play competitively. They are playing rather loose. Not concerned about clumping or anything of that nature, but they could very well get killer 2 here, depending on what Torres does. They're going to peek out on the Alchemist and challenge. They find the kill. Goose not going to be able to get that res.
Oh, on the old rusty.
When they were dialed into Torres for a brief second. And there's the kill. Nice connection. Akari and Zana getting ready to make their move, but Random is here.
We need to double up on the OBJ.
Two-story, like I said. Garden two-story.
Saints and Sinners lose another one off a disconnect. I think that was a kill into that. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. Couldn't see them in the gray skybox. Yes, just a death, not a disconnect.
Hey, spook.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Aging Moss still uncertain where the bulk of this push is coming from.
I'm not winning that.
As Goose trying to challenge this corner here, ends up deploying the smoke. Tommy shuts down Denny. So it is up to the trio in the south here to push out onto Pyro.
Hey, smoke.
Everyone seems to have eyes on.
He's flanking. Oh, south.
Goose tries to push out, and they find the kill, but not before they're refragged over the
42,
top by
42.
Battlestar.
32.
Tommy taking the desk pop there as Spookies is on objective. Zana and Akari
Come on.
down to the duo to try and make their way up to the
What's
OBJ.
plan?
You think that Goose straight away got him out? I don't know.
Zana and Akari don't have a lot of info to work with, and you can tell a bit disparaged off of the 8-0 loss already. Down to 2, they don't want this to be 9, but it's on track as there's only 1:50 left on the clock. Aging Moss have a 3-2 advantage. Not really great defensive positions, though. Spookies could be caught out by a variety of angles. Starts the comeback for Saints and Sinners off by evening the odds 2-2.
50 chance on if I hit that guy or not, but yeah.
Akari catches
-1 in
Spookies
a
over
OBJ
the
building.
top, and now Aging Moss are down to just Tommy in a 1v2. Flies up to catch Zana, has to duck back down in time. Oh, they're going to be able to get over here and get the res.
Stay low.
I got one.
They get him, and it's a 2v1, just like that. The rotation from Akari is here as they find Spookies down again, but they give away their location. The trade comes through. Aging Moss are the victors on defense. The closest Saints and Sinners have gotten to a round, but not close enough. It looks like 404 is getting peppered by weather. I myself got the text today, just before the stream went live, that internet may go down. I've never gotten that text before, but it's because of the storm that's hitting California right now, and so not surprised that Goose has been having some connection issues. Does put them, at least Saints the Sinners, into an awkward position as they're down to just 4, though. Aging Moss should have some easy wins ahead of them to wrap up this third map. Yeah, we're starting. Not going to be able to get a 5th, and Aging Moss.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
That's so mean.
true.
We don't know what happened there, but Aging Moss are going to be into a 5v4 to kick things off. Even though the UI says there's 5, that's not true. There is only 4. Imagine Aging will want to go for the cap. They find 1 kill already out the gates. Pyro catches 1. Shots returned back from Denny, but they don't connect. Saints and Sinners. Another big cross from Denny. They don't get past Torres. 2 dead right away. Zana on objective and Akari away, so definitely a cap as a possible option. Would put Aging Moss up 3-1 into a very solid position. We'll just have to see how quickly Moss pushes.
On uplink, 52. I shot his body in the air as it bounced, so it should be confirmed.
Kari has rotated back to objective to defend and try and fend off the cap. They are here, and it will be tough for Aging Moss to get through to punch in a code. I think they're going to continue to try for it, though, at the very least. Battlestar here in the smoke. Torres goes down on the corner. Battlestar pulls the gun out. Akari finds the double. They're danger close to clutching this up. Aging Moss just got to take the round win that they can secure. Tommy finds shots and gets the kill.
Last bullet.
The last bullet out of Tommy's gun. But it's the bullet that matters. And it puts Aging Moss up 2-0. Dare I say this one's locked in for Aging Moss, and matter of time before they take map 3 4-0. Some comments on active roster. An earlier comment came in that this is Error 404 rebranded, and there aren't few players from that team, but there are still also players that have been around on Saints and Sinners for a while. On the website, they technically rebranded, so they're almost like in a clean slate history-wise, but it still is all tracked even when you rebrand your history. The team history is tracked. The player history is tracked, and so you can see what the team was branded, and so you can see that there are players that have been in Saints and Sinners for several seasons that are still playing on this team. So that's the beauty of the VRML, is that teams come and go, new players come and go, and I guess old players come and go too. Everyone, there's just so much variety in team roster. I feel like season to season, it's almost rarer when you do see a roster that does stay the same over the course of multiple seasons, and so those are the teams you really got to watch out for, but there's not too many of them these days. Into the action we go, though, for round 3.
Told me
I don't know. Yeah, no. I mean, we don't have to be cool with reserve. This just isn't a rule. Oh, you mean the waiting circle?
I don't care if they work or not.
A little discussion around allowing reservists on Saints and Sinners, and they certainly could dip into to the reservist pool right now, but it would be a little bit awkward bringing someone into a 2-0 out the gate. Is doable, may give them into a position where they can at least get a few points on the board, but for now, it is a tough go for them. They barrel forward into Torres' line of sight. It's going to be a quick 1-2 punch. Comes up. It's a great flash. It completely blinds Alchemist on the pillar. Can't win a 1v2. Alchemist finds the kill. Saints and Sinners are down, but Battlestar still has a line onto the entry point, and they're going to find another kill. Make it 2. A quick double for double. A quick double-double. Puts them up 3-0, and I see Grenade says a second run to Home Depot. I feel like that's you mean you should say the mandatory second run to Home Depot, because I could have told you you were gonna need to go there twice. Anytime you need to go to Home Depot once is very rarely good enough. You always find something else you need, and either that or the project expands, and then you need more. Saints and Sinners need more to fill out their roster so they can have 5 here this afternoon, but again, Goose experiencing some connection issues, and I can sympathize. I got the same warning, or maybe not the same warning, but I also got a weather warning here saying that I could lose connection, so. Clearly, though, we're going to have to keep an eye on Aging Moss. They've, again, had a few losses already this season, but against good opponents. Now with a big win here against Saints and Sinners, they're definitely going to be getting a tough challenge going into Week 8. But that may be one we want to tune into. Well, let's see. I try and spread the casting opportunities out. I tend to focus a little bit on the top tier and spread them out to the lower end, the middle to lower ends. But we're adding new casters. We've seen a ton of caster applications come in. They're currently being reviewed. We should have a handful of new casters coming through in the coming days/week. Keep your eyes peeled for new folks. Keep your eyes peeled for that VRML 3 channel to be used for training.
I tagged him. He's going down right.
Torres finds the first kill. Denny's pushed up very far. He goes down quickly. A Battlestar over the top. The nade did get Rando, though, and Akari catches Torres on the 2-story. Quick res puts it into a 4v2. Akari nearly goes down as they're suppressed from both angles. They're dead. Make it just Zana. Aging Moss definitely should be looking to take this 5-0. The more points, the merrier. And Zana is here to defend, but a few more smokes will put them blind and, well, blind. Buki's down to themselves. Zana finds the kill. Aging Moss are down to 2. Pyro swings wide, flies onto Zana. Aging Moss lock in the series. 12-0 against Saints and Sinners. Didn't even do predictions for this third map, but there you are, awarded for your second. And that's the series. Appreciate everyone tuning in. A reminder that, again, there's more matches coming at you. I believe, let me take a look. Pick up one Saturday. Grenade jumping on OP Animal House tomorrow. That's going to be a big matchup. Definitely want to tune into that. I'll be hopping on OP Vendetta Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon with Boss Fight and Dub City Warriors. So top tier gameplay from NA and EU coming at you this weekend that you're going to want to catch. So hit the follow button here if you haven't already. That's going to be it for me. My name is Ben, NightFiree with 2 E's. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, stay cool.